after we adopted Brussels Agreement. And we fulfilled, there are only 15 items. And from 7th to 15th item, there were all obligations of Serbia. And we delivered 100%. It means we participated in local and parliamentarian elections under the Kosovo law. We did, and we delivered on telecom, which means that they got their dial code. It means that we delivered on justice and judiciary issue, regional police, civil protection. Today, North Macedonia and Greece. And when we speak about Belgrade-Pristina relationship, we speak about people, we speak about people's destinies, we speak about territories, we speak about all different issues that are not easy to be tackled. And you have just mentioned one thing that's been very important for all of us, dare to say, and there is no ongoing war, which is very important for all of us. And I think that stability, tranquility and peace is something that we accomplished. It's not something to be taken as granted. It's something that we accomplished through our dialogue process in the recent years. And that's why I was always very much afraid of the possibility that someone might defreeze that so-called frozen conflict. Speaking about dialogue process, it's in a stalemate. And before saying something else, I want to say here before the audience of an entire world that Serbia is doing its best to reach a compromising solution. And we are really doing so. And here I have all the documents that we have adopted so far, including the Brussels Agreement. And I have to say that Serbia fulfilled all its obligations from Brussels Agreement. And not only that, Serbia didn't do any unilateral acts that might cause the problems to the other side and that might cause any kind of instability. But why we are in a stalemate today? Today is exactly 2,126 days after we adopted Brussels Agreement. And we fulfilled, there are only 15 items. And from 7th to 15th item, there were all obligations of Serbia. And we delivered 100%. It means we participated in local and parliamentarian elections under the Kosovo law. We did, and we delivered on telecom, which means that they got their dial code. It means that we delivered on justice and judiciary issue, regional police, civil protection units. They had only one obligation to deliver on. That was Serb Community, Serb Association. Today is 2,126 day. They delivered zero, nothing at all. Even after that, we were begging them not to go, not to try to become a part of different international organizations and institutions. We were saying that should be a part of a dialogue. And you're going to fail, and that will spoil the atmosphere within your own public audience. They didn't want to listen to us, and they failed, trying to be a part of Interpol, UNESCO, and the other international organizations. Then they imposed anti-civilized, I dare to say, tariffs against Serbia, although they adopted all the rules and all the regulations regarding CEFTA's arrangement in 2006. And now it's exactly 102 days after they imposed those tariffs against Serbia. And regardless of or in spite of international pressure, including Germany's pressure, European Union pressure, American pressure, not to mention Russia and China, they didn't deliver on that. They are stubborn, obstinate, and they always say, well, we'll do it after they recognize Kosovo's independence. They, it means Serbia. Then what happened later? Serbia didn't react. Serbia didn't react at all. we didn't impose any reciprocal measures. We didn't do anything against them. But what we are facing with? We are facing with a new platform that was adopted by so-called Kosovo government. And they adopted a platform which is anti-dialogue platform. That document stipulates that Kosovo should protect its territorial integrity, which is inviolable, inalienable, inseparable, and at the same time Serbia will have to recognize Kosovo's independence, and furthermore they should form a new tribunal for the Serbs and for Serbia that committed terrible crimes in Kosovo. And then there is my question, because I always hear from some of smarter Albanian politicians from Kosovo that we are close to an arrangement which is not close to the reality, because, you know, Pristina talks the talk but doesn't walk the talk. And what I can say, once again, why we are anyway part of a dialogue, why someone needs Serbia, because they decided on everything. They just wait for our signature, they're gonna get everything, we're gonna lose everything, and then what? Do you really think that it's going to happen like that? Of course, it won't happen. And let me remind you on first sentences that I pronounced here. Serbia is very dedicated, and we acted in a very responsible way, in a very serious way. When we say that we'll provide into deed something, we do it. Which means when we signed that Brussels agreement, I went to North Mitrovica. That was one out of two most difficult days that I've ever had. And I was booed by my own people, almost physically attacked by them, but had enough courage to say to them that peace became the most important issue for the Serbs, because we are not afraid of our economic future. We had a good growth rate, 4.4%. We're cutting and changing the trajectory of our public debt. Unemployment rate we cut from 26% to 11.3%. Everything goes well. Something that can put everything in jeopardy, it's our relationship with Pristina. And we'll be very keen resuming the dialogue process with Pristina, and we'll do our best to reach really a compromising solution. It cannot be, and it won't be, a capitulation of one side, in this case Serbian side. If they are willing to continue the real dialogue process, we are at disposal not only for European Union, but for the Albanians, for all Serbs and Serbians, because I think the most important issue is how we're going to develop Serb-Albanian relationship. It's not about European Union, it's not about US, it's about us, it's about our future. And that's what I was saying to Mr. Taci thousands of times. We are very much ready to continue the dialogue. We just wait for them, because I heard these kind of promises from their side for tens of times so far, that they will revoke their decision on tariffs. So far, it didn't happen. We are ready to carry on, and I am not that optimistic that you were, dear Mr. Ischinger, but if we work hard, if we work in a very diligent and dedicated way, I don't refuse the possibility of reaching a compromising solution. But today, we are unfortunately very far away from that.
Thank you. This is supposed to be
I hope that
open
it won't be.
conversation.
I hope, and thank you for allowing me to react on this, what Mr. Taci was saying. First of all, at the beginning of his introduction, he said that many things were fulfilled, but there is only one that hasn't been fulfilled. That's the formation of Serb community or Serb association. which was their only one obligation. And you know what was his comment? It cannot be something that is formed against the constitution of the Kosovo country. It means that if something's against the constitution of Serbia, and almost everything is not always directly in accordance with our constitution, we should stop discussing. Or we should say there is no venue, there is no space for any further conversations, any further dialogue.